Hello MotoGP fans, welcome back to ZNGP Today. Ducati's 2025 engine development has hit a snag, with both Marquez and Francesco Bagnaia expressing concerns over its performance. After topping the timesheets on day 1 of the Buriram test, Marquez explains why the factory squad is likely to homologate the GP24 engine for the upcoming season. The midday practice start session at the Buriram MotoGP test turned chaotic, with several riders struggling off the line, but none more dramatically than Fermin Aldeguer. The Spanish rookie's exaggerated spin nearly saw him collide with teammate Alex Márquez, but he managed to avoid contact. Aldeguer later explained the incident, attributing it to the track conditions at Buriram. After a promising performance at the Sepang test, Quartararo encountered unexpected difficulties on the first day of the Buriram MotoGP test. The 2021 world champion described his day as strange, citing front-end issues that left him struggling for confidence. Quartararo admitted it was one of the first times in his career that he didn't like any of the available front tire options. Jack Miller has wasted no time getting comfortable on his new Yamaha, finishing inside the top 10 on the first day of the MotoGP preseason test in Buriram. The former Honda, Ducati, and KTM rider highlighted a key area where Yamaha excels over his previous KTM machine, giving him confidence as he adapts to his new ride. Don't forget to click subscribe button and the bell icon for MotoGP news update. Ducati team boss Davide Tardozzi confirmed that the manufacturer is strongly considering sticking with the GP24 engine for 2025, rather than the newer GP25 spec. The reason? Too many uncertainties and the looming engine freeze, which will lock in development for 2 years starting from the season opener in Thailand. Marc Marquez, fastest on the first day in Buriram, backs Ducati's cautious approach. Given that the GP24 engine powered Ducati to 16 wins in 2024, Marquez sees no reason to gamble on an unproven concept. Ducati is very smart. We cannot take the risk of homologating an engine that we are not 100% sure is better than the 2024 version. The GP25 is strong in some areas, but it has very weak points. They have the experience to use the 2024 engine on different tracks. The bike was a very good base last year, and now we are going back to that base. Quote from Marquez. Francesco Bagnaia, who finished 8th on the opening day in Thailand, shares Marquez's reservations. While he doesn't believe the GP25 engine is fundamentally uncompetitive, he admits Ducati has struggled to refine it. Bagnaia also revealed that he faced technical difficulties throughout the first day of testing, limiting his track time. It's a difficult choice, but right now, we are all leaning toward the 2024 engine. Not because the 2025 engine is slow, but because we are still struggling to find balance under braking. Starting the season in this limbo would be risky. Luckily, my team did a fantastic job to give me a little possibility of riding, but from the start of the day, nothing was working. Quote from Bagnaia. Ducati faced a similar situation in 2022 when the factory squad ultimately opted to race an older engine spec after encountering issues with the full GP22 motor. With 2 more days of testing in Buriram, Ducati will have one final opportunity to evaluate its options before making a definitive call. Marquez, who has adapted quickly to the Desmosedici, remains confident in the GP24 base, which has been further refined with minor updates. The 2024 bike feels great. We're introducing small new parts to that engine, and they're working well. Marquez concluded. As Ducati finalizes its direction for 2025, all eyes will be on Marquez and Bagnaia to see whether the reigning champions play it safe with the proven GP24 engine or take a risk on the unpredictable GP25. Ducati's decision on its 2025 engine will shape the upcoming MotoGP season. With just weeks before the opener in Thailand, will they stick with the tried and tested GP24, or will the GP25 get a last-minute reprieve? Testing results over the next 2 days will be crucial. Fermin Aldeguer's first day on the ZNGP in Buriram had a tense moment when he suffered an extreme spin while launching off the grid during practice starts. The sudden loss of grip sent him veering off course and almost straight into Gresini racing teammate Alex Márquez. Speaking after the session, Aldeguer admitted that he had never experienced such a dramatic slip before but noted that the track conditions played a major role. Despite the close call, Aldeguer clarified that lining up next to Marquez was purely coincidental and not an attempt to gauge his own practice starts against the more experienced rider. "One was crazy. It was the first time that I slipped like this, but it's normal when the track is in this condition and also other riders have the same problem. Not this big, but it's normal. At the end, I don't need Alex Márquez to see if my practice start is good or not. With the data we can see everything." Quote from Aldeguer. The rookie acknowledged that improving starts would be an area of focus, particularly with the track's slippery conditions affecting his launch. Beyond the practice start issues, Aldeguer admitted that adapting his riding style to the Buriram circuit on the Ducati was more challenging than expected. The Spanish rider, who won at the track in Moto2 back in 2023, found the transition to MotoGP at Buriram to be a different experience entirely. He struggled in the morning session but felt that his team made significant progress as the day went on. Buriram track is completely different to Sepang. At the end, it's another style. Michelin also, here we use a different casing, another thing to adapt to. This morning wasn't too easy to adapt my style to this track, but we worked with calmness and after the break we did a good and big step," concluded. Fermin Aldeguer's first test in Buriram had its fair share of drama, from a wild practice start spin to adapting his riding style on the Ducati. As the rookie continues to find his footing in MotoGP, the Gresini racing rider will be aiming to build on the improvements he made throughout the day. Fabio Quartararo's opening day in Buriram was far from smooth, as the Monster Energy Yamaha rider struggled with an unusual lack of confidence in the front of his YZR-M1. The Frenchman revealed that, for the first time in his career, either of the front tire options suited him. The 2021 world champion admitted that he and Yamaha had yet to pinpoint the exact cause of the issue but remained convinced that the problem was tire-related rather than a fundamental flaw with the bike. "Today was a really strange day for us, especially because it's one of the first times of my career that I didn't like any tires on the front. So, I was struggling a lot today to ride and to be fast. Always when there are 2 tires it happens that you don't like one and you like the other. But to not like both of them, it's the first time that it happens to me. I don't know why, hopefully tomorrow it will change." Quote from Quartararo. Despite his struggles, Quartararo acknowledged that the bike appeared more stable under braking, though not necessarily for the right reasons. He explained that his inability to brake as aggressively as usual gave the impression of greater stability. One positive takeaway for Quartararo was Yamaha's progress in straight-line performance. After following Gresini Ducati's Alex Márquez for a lap, he felt that the M1 had improved in top speed, though he acknowledged that tire differences made direct comparisons difficult. "The bike is a little bit more stable, but especially because I'm not able to brake super hard with the front. Last year, I could put the bike much more on the limit, so I think tomorrow the bike will shake again because I will try to push the limit, in case the same thing happens with the tires on the race. I spent 1 lap behind Alex Márquez, but it's difficult to see if he has an 18-lap-old tire and you have a 5-lap-old tire, so it's really difficult to compare. But I think on the straight we improved quite a lot." Quartararo also confirmed that Yamaha's aerodynamic and engine package is now quite fixed, meaning much of his testing time in Buriram was spent fine-tuning electronic strategies. Looking ahead to the final day of the test, his primary focus will be on improving launch performance. "Today we will try to make a bit more different strategies on the electronics for the start, and hopefully we can improve a bit. Today I think we made some different things that could have worked, but at least for us, it didn't work." Fabio Quartararo's opening day at the Buriram test proved to be a frustrating one, with front-end issues limiting his confidence on the Yamaha. As he prepares for the final day of preseason testing, the focus will be on finding a solution to his tire struggles and refining Yamaha's electronics for better starts. Jack Miller's transition to Yamaha with the Pramac Racing team has been one of the biggest moves of the 2025 MotoGP season. Testing in Buriram has given Miller a chance to further understand his new bike, and so far, the Australian is feeling positive. Miller pinpointed the front-end confidence of the Yamaha as a major improvement over his previous KTM. "I am enjoying it, the bike is pleasant to ride, you can trust the front end, which is a massive bonus. It leaves you wanting more. Every time you put on a new tire, you think, I should have carried more corner speed. It leaves you with a lot of confidence in the front end, which was missing in the past couple of years. I am pleasantly surprised by that." Quote from Miller. While Yamaha has faced struggles in recent years, Miller sees potential for the manufacturer to make significant progress in 2025. On the first day of testing in Buriram, Miller was able to hit competitive lap times, consistently running in the 1:30s and pushing for the 1:29s. Despite the track being dusty early on, he felt comfortable with Yamaha's base setup from the previous Sepang test. "We hit the ground running with our base setting from Sepang. I was happy with it. The track was good, just dusty. Thankfully, with all the bikes out there, it cleans up quickly. The bike works well. Rear grip is still an issue, but here, when grip levels are not high, I don't notice it as much. In Sepang I noticed it more." Miller was also impressed by Yamaha's launch performance, calling the bike a rocket ship off the start line, another promising sign for the upcoming season. The past 2 seasons have been challenging for Yamaha, with the manufacturer struggling to keep up with Ducati's dominance. However, Miller remains confident in the team's ability to turn things around. "I don't listen to what anybody says. Yamaha used to suit a lot of tracks, and it doesn't anymore. Ducati didn't used to, and now it suits them all. Times are changing. We focus on what we can do. Yamaha has been pretty strong here in the past." With the 2025 season approaching, Miller's feedback could prove invaluable in Yamaha's bid to return to the front of the grid. Jack Miller's early impressions of Yamaha suggest the manufacturer could be on the right path toward improvement. With promising preseason tests in Sepang and Buriram, the Australian is feeling optimistic about his new machine. As the MotoGP season draws closer, all eyes will be on Yamaha to see if they can turn their preseason promise into race day performance. Thanks for watching ZNGP Today, and this is your MotoGP news update. See you next time.